The movie opens up when Colonel Tom Parker reportedly has a stroke and passes out at home. And a con man as he lies dying in a hospital bed. Parker starts out as the narrator. He understands that even though many people may view him negatively, he sees himself as the person who gave the world Elvis Aaron Presley, the king of rock and roll. In a flashback, the International Hotel in Las Vegas in the 1970s. Elvis' entourage is helping him stand by submerging his head in icy water as he struggles to stand. When Parker arrives, he declares that Elvis being able to take the stage is what matters most. Despite the commotion, Elvis is able to stand up and give an American trilogy to the audience, who is in awe.
Parker continues his story while alone and traversing a deserted casino. The same media sites who reported Parker's death also accuse him of being responsible for what happened to Elvis, although he vehemently refutes those assertions. Parker starts telling his story in the middle of the 1950s, when he was an undocumented Dutch immigrant working at a carnival for Hank Snow, David Wenham. Jimmy Rogers, the son of Hank Rogers, has a record out with a country-like feel. While the majority of the audience appears to enjoy the song, Hank and Parker don't believe it has any commercial potential because it has an African-American vibe. When Jimmy tells them that a white man is singing the song, Parker becomes genuinely interested.
Parker meets Elvis at a fair and has a conversation with him on the Ferris wheel. Parker assures Elvis that he can take him to new heights after telling Elvis that Hank wants to get rid of him. With Parker's assistance, Elvis is able to relocate his parents to the Graceland house, which is located close to Memphis, as his star starts to rise as his popularity soars. Elvis is forced to dress more appropriately and have his music toned down, disappointing his fans and making Elvis angry at being restrained. Elvis is taken to a concert where he is warned not to move even a finger lest he be arrested. Elvis remembers BB's comments as he enters the stage and tells the audience that no one will be able to change him, amid the ecstatic applause of the audience. Elvis is granted the choice to spend his sentence in West Germany instead of going to prison for obscenity in 1958. Gladys worries about her son's security and she ultimately passes away. When Elvis and Vernon are asked to give statements during her funeral, they are both too distraught to do so. As a result, Elvis is left sitting in his mother's wardrobe sobbing next to her clothes. Parker intervenes and persuades him to go for Gladys's sake by stating that everything she gave up for her kid will be in vain. Elvis is stationed in West Germany by 1959, where the teenage daughter of an army pilot is also serving. Elvis enjoys spending his alone time with Priscilla as he starts to fall in love with her, despite the fact that other locals enjoy catching a sight of him. Elvis returns to the United States in the 1960s by acting in movies in Hollywood, California, starting with Love Me Tender. In 1967, Elvis and Priscilla got married. Lisa Marie is their daughter. Later, Elvis forms his own group called the Memphis Mafia, which consists of Priscilla, Jerry Schilling, Luke Bracey, and several other people. Elvis discovers the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. When he is traveling, the producers of the NBC Christmas special that Parker books Elvis for want him to perform a clean show and sing "Here Comes Santa Claus." Elvis instead plays a number of his most popular songs, including Heartbreak Hotel and Jailhouse Rock. During a break, Elvis and the others find out about the murder of Robert Kennedy, which also severely disturbs Elvis. Since the producers won't pay him otherwise, Parker breaks it up and tells Elvis to perform a Christmas song, after which he will fire Elvis. Elvis sings If I Can Dream as a protest song the following night, and it ends up being another huge smash. After getting a sizable payment for Elvis, Parker is then informed that he will have all of his debts forgiven and an unending line of credit as long as Elvis appears at the International.
After receiving a sizable payment for Elvis, Parker is informed that his debts would be forgiven and that he will have an unending supply of credit as long as Elvis performs at the International for gambling in the casinos. Parker refuses to let Elvis perform and travel overseas since he is an undocumented immigrant, which was brought up earlier when he was approached by Senator Eastland, who conducted a background check on Parker.